Welcome to class. In this video, we're going to do two things. The first is go over Boolean variables. And in this class, a Boolean variable is going to be a variable that is either true or false. That's all it keeps track of. And we're going to start off with a built-in Boolean variable called mouse pressed. And this, unironically, keeps track of whether or not the mouse button is currently pressed. And it doesn't matter which mouse button. Okay. In this sketch, if you take a look at the if statement on line 11, it says if mouse pressed equals true. And then that if statement will execute whenever that is true inside the draw loop. And all it's going to do is turn the background black. So if you hover the mouse over the canvas in this sketch and then click the button, it turns black. And then as soon as you release the mouse button, it turns white again. Okay, so that's our simplest Boolean variable that we'll use. We can combine that with adding more functionality to our conditionals to really make our sketches a lot more interesting and a lot more complicated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add multiple conditions to that if statement. I'm going to make it so that the background only turns black if multiple conditions are met. And the conditions that I'm putting in there are that the mouse it's going to have to be at first just on the right side of the screen. And now you'll see me move the mouse onto the screen. I click and nothing's happening here. But as soon as I go over that threshold, as soon as I'm over halfway across the screen, then I can click and it turns black. And when the mouse is over the screen there, I'm pretty much clicking constantly. And now I'll add in another condition that says that the mouse also has to be on the top half of the screen. So now it has to be on the right half and the top half. And if you think about your Cartesian coordinate system, that's going to be in the first quadrant or the top right quadrant. So now the mouse has to be pressed and the X position has to be on the right half and the Y position has to be on the top half. And so now I'm clicking, nothing is happening. I'm clicking in all three and then finally I click in quadrant 1 and we get something and the screen reacts to it. And I can put a rectangle in there just to show you exactly where I'm clicking. And something funny is going to happen here. You would expect maybe to be able to see that rectangle even after you've clicked on the mouse. But let's see what happens. Nope, that rectangle goes away. And so what we're going to do is in order to be able to keep seeing that rectangle, we're going to have to use variables to keep track of the different colors we want to use in the background. And then instead of executing the background command and actually drawing the background, after drawing the rectangle, which covers it up, we'll remove the background command from the if statement. And we'll just use that if statement to reassign a value to the variable backg, which we'll use to keep track of the background color. But first we have to declare it, initialize it, and finally stick it down in that if statement down at the bottom. Okay, now I have replaced that number with the variable. And now I'm getting rid of that background command. I'm just saying reassign a new value to the variable. And now we should still be able to see that rectangle even when the background changes. Good. And that looks good. But, oh no, there's a problem. It never turns back. Oh. I wonder if we could fix this. All right. Your assignment for this lecture is to add some functionality to this so that when you click on the top left quadrant, the background turns back to white. And you can put a rectangle in there so that it looks nice, and maybe it looks like a button if you want, but you don't have to. But it should only turn back to white if you click in the top left quadrant. And you can go through and go into that if statement that I have up there, and you can copy that and just change a few things, and then you'll be able to make it turn back to white whenever you click in the top left quadrant. And then once you're done with this, if you want to experiment, it might be an interesting exercise to see if you can take that rectangle and make it work like a button in the middle. All right, good luck, and I'll see you next time.